fight to end social injustice starts in a small town in Kentucky with one woman, a group of elementary school kids, and a comic book, all joining forces to rise above bullying.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Your flight go well?
Excellent, excellent. So we have a beautiful day.
Great.
I have the image here.
Great.
Can I give it to you now?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Here we go. And remember, no one's seeing this yet, but I guess the person who's working on it will now see the image. So
That's right.
I'm not even letting you know yet till we get into that room.
Okay.
So here it
Great.
is.
Well, we'll get started.
Okay, excellent, thanks. So this is going to be an exciting process.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Let's go. Good. This is our next step here.
Okay, thank you. Hi.
Nikki, this is Nancy. Nancy, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi.
Nancy Silberkleit.
Nice to meet you.
This is where all the images have been ready to go. We're uploaded, ready to go, except for this final image needs to be digitized.
Okay, all right.
And Miss Nikki will take care of that.
All right, now, this has been under top secret. Who has the back cover? So, Mr. Mann, it's still going to be under top secret. Are you good with that?
I'm fine with that.
And now I'm going to hand it over to Nikki. So how long will this process take?
Approximately 2 to 3 hours.
Really? So let's go to Shepherdsville Elementary.
That sounds great. Let's go.
Okay, all right, see you later. Okay, great, bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, David, thank you so much for inviting me to your school here. This is my second time coming back here, so I'm hoping it's going to be a yearly thing that I'll come and visit. So thank you very much. And thank you, Lisa and Tracy, for taking the time out to read my first comic book, Rise Above, that's addressing what one can do when they're bullied. So I'm here to, just ask, your thoughts, because you all have read it. So let's start with David, David Pate, who's the principal of Shepherdsville Elementary School.
Well, first of all, I think it's a very timely subject. That's something that even at the elementary school level that we deal with. And I think the format is very exciting because a lot of the books and materials that we get are not necessarily kid-friendly. And I think all children like comic books, and I just think it's something they can relate to and can certainly relate to the subject matter.
What do you remember in the book that, spurs anything that can be used as a tool?
Those of us who are adults that work with children is to make sure that we try to make them feel comfortable enough that they can share with us if they're having a problem. And the thing that excited me about your main character in the story was that she found a teacher that she could confide in, and through that helped her work through a problem.
Mm-hmm. And that's very important, that we have to have these children feel comfortable. Tracy, what can you tell me that you got out of reading Rise Above?
One of the things that stood out to me that I thought was very relevant was the part about Facebook and how the bully posted embarrassing pictures of the little girl on Facebook. I think that is very timely right now.
This is a global issue. It is no longer about our little community.
Right.
So that's why I chose that globe with the phoenix having its claws in it, and that's why on the center page I opened up that globe to the voices around the world. So Lisa, you're the expert here at Shepherdsville Elementary. You have, we look to you for answers and, when we're in pain. So, what was your feeling about Rise Above?
I really liked it, especially the way that you've been able to send the message out with a comic. I've never seen a bully book that's been expressed through that medium before. We really focused on the bystander bully, trying to encourage kids when you see it to report it. Don't be a part of the problem, be a part of the solution. And we use a shout out box here to try to report it. And that's one of the big things, is making sure that kids are letting people know what the problem is so that we can help them solve it.
I can just imagine you have a place where somebody can write something and put it in a box, but I know going back to the 8-year-old girl, I probably would think everybody be watching me go up to that box. So how does this happen? How does it work?
Well, you're right. It is a box, and it's a mailbox that we keep in this school, and kids can put anything. If they're not comfortable talking to someone, It's just a different way of expressing it. They can write it down, put it in the box, let us know what the problem is, and then we'll read the note, and then we'll deal with it that way. So it's just one more way to allow kids to communicate with us that there's a problem. Well, bullying comes in a variety of ways. There's verbal, and there's sexual, and there's physical. I would love to see a series of those addressing all the different types of bullying.
So thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I look forward to coming back on Wednesday, and we're going to hand a comic book to everyone. And
Wow.
no one knows yet whose image will be on the back of the comic book. That has been under lock and key. Someone very special on our planet gave me a picture and said that they were thrilled to have their image on the back, and they made a statement to contribute to helping children understand how bullying is a unacceptable behavior. And we'll see who that image is, and I'm going to be giving it out at Shepherdsville Elementary on Wednesday. You will be getting the first
Wonderful.
issue.
How exciting.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shepherdsville Elementary School. Your group is participating in a focus group for me, so this is very special. So I'm Nancy Silverclite. I am the co-CEO of Archie Comics. So I decided on my own that I wanted to do a comic book that addressed what one can do when they're bullied. And I thought it would be very special to have a group from your particular school here in Kentucky, because our Archie comics get published at Publishers Press in Shepherdsville. Did you guys know that?
No.
Okay. So, and anybody here have a parent that works at Publishers Press?
I had an aunt and uncle who met at Publishers.
And then I wanted to see if I accomplished what I set out to do, was to give young people the idea of what they can do if they ever feel as though they're being bullied. Now, what you have in your hands, I do not have. I think it's in here. I was sent a proof, but I didn't want to see the proof until my feet were, on the ground at Publishers Press and at Shepherdsville. So I'm going to open it up. I don't know if it looks like yours, but I just came from Publishers Press, and I started seeing the production of how they put a comic book together. So this is the cover that you have, and it's just one solid paper that has the front of the cover and then the back of the cover. What was on the back of your covers? Everyone can say. It's no, you're looking at the back. I see white paper. What's on the back?
Nothing.
Nothing, because I requested that we keep it a secret. And you are not going to know until Wednesday what was on the back of the cover. I have a special person that I asked if they could give me their picture and their statement on bullying, and I would place them on the back of the cover. So it's been kind of under lock and key, and nobody knows.
It's an image setter. It's a laser. It runs across there. We can make about a plate in about 2 minutes.
So my image is going from the computer over to the laser, and when the plate comes through, the laser is going to embed that image into that plate that came out of that machine that holds 500 plates.
That is your plate.
Whoa. Now I can see some images, I think, or is it on the bottom?
Nope, the images are on there,
Okay.
just that you can't hardly see them because they're not developed yet. Once it runs through the developer and the scrub brushes hit it, it takes all the blue off that plate,
Okay.
and then you'll be able to see the image.
All right, awesome.
So it'll go through a bath in that developer, a scrub brush, and then it goes out the end and gum is applied to it.
And there it goes.
There it goes.
So now we're waiting for the plate to come out. Here it comes. Oh my goodness.
Run 2 of them. It's a double. No. Yeah.
I've never seen myself on a plate before. Wow, what is this room?
Now this is our press room.
Wow, wow, look at that paper.
That's forward. Well, that represents each unit going down through there. So you'll have the cyan, magenta, yellow, and black ink.
So those are like ink cartridges, and this is where the paper is being fed to print the images.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, Mike, this is the plate we just saw running through here, and I see black image.
That's right. The plate actually never touches the paper. The plate puts the image on a blanket. The blanket hits the paper. As we go through, you'll see the different colors applied as it goes through the equipment. This is what we call a unit. Each one of these is a unit, colored unit. This is a black, and we'll move on to the cyan, the magenta, and the yellow.
I can see the cyan.
Cyan being applied.
So first black, then a bluish, we call cyan.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we go to the magenta. Then is the red, it gets applied on top. We lay them on layers.
Okay.
All pretty dots, dots on top of dots.
And how often do you have to fill these machines with ink?
We have manual pumps that pump the machine constantly. So it's not like the old days where you had to put ink in there manually. It's got pumps from a large ink tote that's been drawn in here all the time.
All right, so we have black, cyan, magenta. Now what's next?
Yellow.
And that is, I can see, it looks like a comic book page.
Exactly.
I can see all the wonderful colors. This is fantastic. This is where the pages come to life.
Exactly.
So what's happening here? I see all the color.
Yes, right now, all the colors have been applied to the paper. The paper's running through what we got a large oven here that's going to heat it up and get us a heat set. That's why it's called a heat set press.
Okay, what's the temperature in the oven? I see gauges. What's...
I'm not for sure what the temperature is. I know when they open them up, you don't want to be standing in front of them.
Okay, now does it bring the color more to life, or does it set it?
It sets the color on the paper so that way you don't have a long unit for the drying process. You know how when you pick up things and your hands get wet? That's normally a cool set press where you can smear it. If you can't smear it, it's normally a heat set press.
Okay, and I can see the pages going way up there. Where are they going?
We're going to a folder. Coming down the press. As you see, it gets folded like this. Then as it goes in there, it's being folded like so. Then drops down in there, and that roller chopper hits it, pops it like that, lays it flat.
So that chopper is just creasing it. It's making very perfect, precise creases. How many a second is it folded?
This is folding around 23,000 right now an hour. So, and you can see them as they fall through. And how uniform it is as it comes out. I mean, it looks like, there's not a 16th of an inch difference in them as they're coming out. Okay.
So Mike, what are all these tubes?
Well, in each piece of equipment in the bindery, you have a waste, and all that waste is sucked into what we call these cyclones. These cyclones will bale the paper, that way we can send it out and it's recycled to be used in other products.
Fabulous. So any piece of waste is getting vacuumed into that cyclone, and then it comes down and it is compressed into like a bale.
Yep. Yeah, shred it, put it in a bale. A lot of people bring in their home waste, paper products, and it goes in there as well.
You mean your community brings? Mm-hmm. That is fabulous. Yep. Wow. Publishers Press is doing something good for their community and their planet.
Exactly.
This is fabulous. Fabulous. I'm very proud of Publishers Press for being so involved in their community and being sensitive to recycling for the betterment of our planet. Good morning, Kevin. I'm Nancy Silverclay. I'm here at Publishers Press with my second day to see how a comic book is put together. And the name of this comic book is called Rise Above. It's an anti-bullying comic book with a message. Never let anyone define who they want you to be. So I'm hoping it's going to, help make a difference in having children when they're in such a situation. So tell me about your career here at Publisher Press.
I've been here for 22 years, what they call a saddle stitch operator. We're going to collate this magazine together, starting with the first form on the chain. The last form will be your actual cover. It's going to run down the gathering chain. It's going to calibrate right here behind you. It's going to measure the thickness of the magazine to make sure that all the forms are there. If the forms are all there and it counts it as a good book, it's going to go down here and it's going to stitch it. Then it's going to run it up into the trimmer and it's going to trim the head, the foot, the face, and then it'll go back into the counter stacker to count however many books we want it in, and it'll run it through the R-Pack, and then we'll box it on the end pack here.
Awesome, and then we have a comic book to read.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So how do we get started?
Well, if you walk over there and push that green button right there, it'll start right up.
I can push that green button?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my goodness. So I'm going to push it.
Okay.
Anything special I have to do?
Push it. When the bell stops ringing, let off the button and push it again.
Okay, here I go.
Okay.
There we go.
There it is.
Oh my goodness. And this is the cover.
Yes,
Let's go down and see where it's starting from.
okay.
Here we go. Okay, so tell me here, Kevin, what is going on?
This is going to be your first form. This is going to be the actual center of your magazine. It's going to go down, it's going to hit the chain. This one's going to collate on top of it. And then you're going to end up with the cover over here on your final product.
Okay, and then...
Once we get all the forms collated together, it's going to go down here and it's going to calibrate, which measures the thickness of your magazine. That's going to tell you if it's good or bad. If it's good, it's going to go on down past that, it's going to stitch. Then it's going to go up through your end feed into your trimmer, and it's going to trim the head, foot, and face.
Okay.
That's going to be your finished
So
product.
let's take a look at them here, and they
Okay.
have all been stitched here.
No, ma'am.
No, they're still not stitched.
They won't be stitched until they get down here.
Okay,
This
all right.
just measures the thickness of your magazine.
Okay, so that was just putting them in order, those feeding there.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
then we're going to be, so let's take a look at it being stitched.
Okay.
So Kevin, tell me, I see, is that thread or is that a wire?
That's actually your stitch wire. Pulling the wire off these big rolls back here, pulling it down into your stitcher head. Stitcher head is set for a predetermined length on your wire length. It's going to cut it, form it, drive it, and clench it all at the same time. Once it does that, it's going to go up through your escalade here into your end feed. It's going to turn into your trimmer.
Okay, I want to go see that.
Trim your head, foot, and face.
And then the comic book, I think, is ready
Yes,
to be
ma'am.
handed out. So I'm interested in the thread. So the thread is actually a wire?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll have to look at my comic book very carefully. So I can see kind of a shimmer to the thread there. And are there needles in there?
No, ma'am.
No, it's just, how's it doing that? It's pressing
It's
it?
actually pulling the wire straight into the side right here. Once it pulls the length of the wire that it wants, then it's got a knife that comes down and cuts it. Then you have a pre-cut length of wire that you predetermine what your length is. Then it's going to form it, which is bending wires down on the side. Then it drives it in and clenches it all at the same time. Makes it look like a staple.
Okay. I see that the trim, so it looks like they're just going to have to trim where the white is. And then
Actually, it's going to trim just a little bit above the white.
Okay. Now I can reveal whose image is on the back cover of Rise Above. Reggie Jackson, one of the all-time greatest baseball players in the world. And I'd like to read, Reggie put, bullying hurts and is never cool. Go to bat for a friend with kindness, encouragement, and support. Reggie Jackson, I really thank him for showing his great leadership.
This is called a counter stacker. It's going to actually count out your lifts in the 50s. It's going to drop 10, compensate, drop 10, and then once it gets 50 books there, it kicks it out through the R-Pack over here.
Okay, I think I had said I was going to have 100 in a box. Does that sound right?
No, they're 250 to a box.
Oh, 250 in a box.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I was trying to think, could I carry that box? So we're going to have to see. I think I can handle 250.
I believe so. It goes into the R-Pack, seals it. It goes into a heat tunnel. The heated tunnel is actually going to shrink the plastic around the product.
Okay.
It's going to hold it into a bundle of 50. It comes out back here in the back.
Okay, Mike, let's see if I can handle these boxes when I'm picking them up, bringing them into a school.
No problem, no problem.
No problem. So thank you, Publishers Press. So I think I'm ready to go on to visit Shepherdsville Elementary School. It's called Rise Above, and there it is behind me. You see the girl in the center there with the pink pants. Her name is Erica. She is a girl that comes to a school. She's new, and she is a little apprehensive, but she's looking forward to meeting friends. But then there is that girl in the yellow shirt behind her with her arm up, Vanessa. Because Vanessa finds fun in making fun of people. So we're not going to talk too much about Vanessa because we know words and actions can hurt. Everybody agree with that? Yeah. But what we're going to talk about are the people around Vanessa. Those I call the bystanders. And that's what I'm giving you the challenge to do, is when you see something that is wrong, that you see someone who looks maybe lonely or sad, that you're going to be the change maker. You are going to go up and you're going to make that person feel good. And the word is called kindness. That's what you're going to be doing from now on, is spreading kindness. Because kindness can help someone. Because words can really hurt someone, but kindness can save someone. And since you have all of that great education about caring and knowing how people can get hurt, I think it's going to be easy for you. So I am so proud to be speaking about this comic book. This is the first time anyone is getting to see this comic book. And you are all going to go home with the comic book today. And one of the messages I say is, never let anyone define who they want you to be. But what I say is get out of their box and find something that you are interested in. And you're going to start feeling good. You're going to start rising above all the pain that you were bothered with. So I am going to now show a very special sports person who allowed me to put his image on the back of the cover. No one has an idea, except I guess Publishers Press may have seen it, but we didn't talk about it. But it's been a secret because I just thought this was a very special person who allowed me to use his image. And when he gave me his quote of what he felt, it was in alignment exactly with why I had put this comic book out, because I wanted to instill in all of you that you're the change maker, that you can spread kindness to stomp out bullying. Nobody knows about it. My mother doesn't even know about it. And the person who was my project manager, the person who wrote the story, and all the other people who are in this book have no idea who's on the back of the cover. They keep asking me, why aren't you telling us? I said, well, I want the children at Shepherdsville Elementary to be able to see this book first because it was their parents who made this book happen. How many people know about baseball? Okay. Well, the person on here happened to be a baseball player for the Yankees. And I am going to turn it around now and show you. It's probably hard for you to see, but his name is Reggie Jackson. How many people know who Reggie Jackson is? Whoa, awesome. Reggie Jackson is going to be so pleased that I had so many people here that recognize him in his uniform. And what Reggie said is that bullying is never cool. And to be a friend and step up to bat and show everybody that you can be a friend with kindness and encouragement. So, you know, I thank Reggie for doing this. This is not something that happens every day, but I was delighted that he gave us this image. So I thank you, and I thank your parents for putting this book together here in Shepherdsville Elementary. I thank Publishers Press, and I thank my writer, John A. Wilcox. I thank the penciler, Stan Goldberg. You know, I talked about all the elements that go into making a comic book.
Taught me to be stronger, to stand a little prouder, yell a little louder. You taught me to look right over your head, to smile instead, forget where I bled in the first place. Tear me down, I won't fall to the ground. Don't say my name like it belongs in your mouth. Don't try to break me, don't try to shake me today.